Hi, welcome back to Circuits with Angel. I've just finished my power supplies video, and I realized I should talk about how batteries actually work. So this will be a bit sciencey. Let's get started. First, we need to talk about the basic concepts of electricity. Electricity usually flows from an object with lots of electrons to one with less electrons. Think of the electron as the unit of electricity. Now that is a super basic explanation of how electricity works. We can best think of the battery as the bank that stores energy inside. The only way to use the energy is to get the electrons to move through a circuit to make electrical current. This is a picture of a real-life battery, and on that battery there's a bunch of information on it. For example, the plus and minus signs indicates the positive and negative terminals. There's also the information on the battery, like rated voltage and what type of battery. Next, I want to show you what the inside of a battery might look like. There's two terminals. Usually we call these positive and negative, but let's just describe them for now. This middle section is usually a piece of metal with very few electrons, while the outside section, colored in red, is a part with a ton of electrons. The reason the electrons aren't flowing is because they are separated by an insulator. That's this huge section here. So the flow of electrons is interrupted. When you connect conductive material from one section to the other, the flow of electrons is available. If you put something in between that, the electrons will flow through that component, and then to the other terminal. Let's use an example of this circuit I built here. The flow of electrons is currently stopped by this push button. But when I press the push button, the electrons will flow through the LED. I had to put a resistor in my circuit because the flow of electrons is so high that the LED will burn it out. I have another video with the experiment, and I'll include that in the description box for you to try it out yourself. In electronics, some materials allow for the electrons to flow easily through them, and others not so. This is called conductivity. For example, electricity will flow more easily through metal, and we call these materials conductors. So for a normal wire, the metal part is called the conductor, but not through the plastic and rubber. Those are called insulators. That's why our wires are coated in either plastic or rubber. Electrons flow through the conductive material, and this movement is called electrical current. And when you put things in between, like say an LED or speaker, they turn on because the electrons are flowing through it. I already mentioned that when we use batteries, we are moving electrons through the circuit, and when you put something in between like that, like an LED or a light bulb, when the electrons move, they light up. When you connect an electrical pathway, or another way of explaining it, like a circuit, the electrons will flow between them. Here's a quick drawing that I made to show you how connecting the terminals to create a circuit that will turn off the LED, while breaking it turns it off. So as you see, we have electrons moving through the circuit when the circuit is complete. And again, when breaking the connection, our LED turns off. So back to my real circuit again. What I showed you is about the electrical current flowing through the circuit. Is basically a quick explanation of how all basic circuits work. If there's no connection or way for the electrons to flow to the other terminal, it won't work. Batteries make it happen. Whether they're large or small, they all function the same, and they are a really important part of electronics. Well, up until you start using a more sturdy power supply. I think that's all for today. Thank you for watching.